Hello, my name is Ian Thomson and I'm a director of Never Mind the Buzzwords. We work with a lot of people across the globe in coaching, both delivering training programs and coaching one-on-one. In the following video, we have a performance coaching session where my colleague Annabelle plays the role of Jane, who is just returning from a cross-department meeting. And I, as her manager, am going to review her performance. Anti-breeze. So hopefully you enjoy this. Come back with some comments below if you wish.
Jane, how
Did the meeting go yesterday?
Yes, it was fine, I think. Everybody was there, all the different department heads. I took some notes because, as you know, it's the fourth one that I've been to, these monthly meetings. And I know I'm there to sort of fact find and get to understand the business a bit better. So I took some notes. I think I'm getting a better feel for how the other departments are functioning. So,
Good.
yeah, it seemed to go okay.
So when you say you were there to fact find,
Yes.
in the conversation that we had at the beginning,
Yeah.
what I was getting you to think about was developing yourself to really be our representative on the meeting. So, and to be more proactive.
Right.
Now that doesn't sound as if it matches to what you've just said. So can we just kind of just look at that for a moment?
So I think there's a couple of things going on for me. I think because I'm quite new to that meeting, I'm tending to listen more so that I understand what's going on.
Right.
And also, to be honest, because there's quite a few senior people in that meeting, I don't feel particularly confident at this stage to add anything. So I guess I'm still thinking, okay, listen, find out what's going on, just so I don't say something and come across like an idiot because it's something obvious that I don't know. So that's one thing. The other thing is, and actually this month I really didn't feel that I had too much to add to the meeting because of the way it was going. I had kind of thought that if I did, I would wait until any other business and then say my thing. But okay, there's no easy way to say it, so I'll just say it. I've been to the meeting 4 times now, and each time when we come to any other business, I know Jim must have some real issues in his department because he kind of sits forward and clears his throat and shuffles his papers, and then will just launch into this stream of complaints about how other departments aren't supporting his department, and it's been the same for 4 months. So I think at that point, whereas I've been taking notes and I'm genuinely interested because it is helping me learn more about the business, at that point I tend to switch off because it feels like, oh, here he goes again.
Right. And when you do that, what do you think your behaviours are? What's actually happening? What would people see at that moment when you switch off?
I do find it difficult to hide things facially. I know that what I've been doing is I might have been writing notes during the meeting, and as soon as he makes a move to speak, I put my pen down and sit back.
Yeah.
And also I have noticed that Mary and Kate, they'll kind of do the same things, and I know, actually, do you know, certainly this time I caught Mary's eye and we both sort of smiled, and I thought I don't know whether Jim saw it, but...
No, I think he probably was in the midst of his woes. It's just I've had a little piece of feedback which said that, you know, this was coming through, this was noticeable. And I think what we want to do is just, it's not a problem at the minute, it hasn't become a problem, but I just wanted to make you aware that somebody had noticed this and felt that you could have been a bit more mature in the way that you dealt with Jim, okay? So what I want to do is just talk with you about that and say, right, what you've told me is what is currently happening.
Yeah.
And you're not alone in this because, as you say, Mary and Kate, they're kind of just going, oh dear, it's the same old tirade. But for you to be our representative, you've always got to be looking as if, you are the face of the department. So looking back on our dreaded Jim, and I think there's some issues there, and I accept that. What could you be doing that would allow you not to get into the mold of putting the pen down, sitting back, making eye contact with people, and almost resigning yourself to another moment of boredom or frustration?
I think, thinking about it, as soon as he clears his throat and he shuffles his papers, do you know what? I think I'm now, at the moment, I'm taking that as my cue. I'm taking that as my cue for, I can switch off now. I don't need to listen.
Yeah.
I think if I'm watching out for that, and I tell myself that, and now maybe I move my position. I'm going to sit forward and listen.
Right. So what would be the benefit of actually listening to him this time?
I think that rather than just assuming he's going on and on about the same things, if I listened, I would probably find out what he's actually talking about. And actually, thinking about it, even if he is going on and on about the same things, clearly the problem hasn't been solved in the last 4 months. So there's something there, isn't there?
Yes.
He wouldn't keep bringing the same issue to the table.
Absolutely.
If it had been sorted out. So, all right, I might think, look, if you've got a big issue, don't wait till any other business and then bore everybody. You bring it, ask for it to be moved further up the agenda. But so I'm thinking I might actually learn something. Also, if I'm focused on him, I'm not going to be catching Mary and Kate's eye and rolling our eyes. And actually, it hadn't occurred to me that anybody would notice that, but I can understand how that would look quite childish. And I am concerned that somebody's seen it, and that's actually making me look not very professional.
Yeah. So we fix that. So we won't do that the next meeting.
Okay.
You've got some ideas already, and extending beyond the idea that it just might help Jim to have someone listen to him.
Yeah.
Then what might happen? We're coming towards the planning process in the next couple of months. You've got this knowledge now across the business. We might be able to help Jim.
We might. So, I wonder if it's worth, because he has, whilst he might be saying something new, he is kind of going over the same issues. I wonder if it's worth just thinking in advance of the meeting, this is what he's likely to come up with. If he does, maybe I'll go and speak to him actually. It might be that there's something that I can contribute in the meeting that we as a department could do, because at the moment his focus is very much on how other departments aren't supporting him. I actually have an opportunity to step into that vacuum and say, actually, our department is ready to help him. Can I not?
And how good would that look?
Yeah.
For you and for the department. So let's just summarise now what we could be doing, what you could be doing. No, there's we. Because one of the things I can be doing is making sure that when you go into the meeting, you are confident about the contributions you're going to make.
Yeah.
We'll deal with that before the next
I would want to
meeting.
check with you. I don't want to be making suggestions or making, worse than that, commitments from our department to somebody else and then coming back and finding out that we can't actually deliver on those.
So we'll do that.
Yeah.
Then there's the bit about when you start shuffling the papers and things, just move into that.
Yeah.
Well, that's interesting. A different physical mode. So you move from kind of here into here. It's kind of a listening pose. So just get into that listening pose, actually listening to him. And then you also said, what about if I go and talk to him in advance? So if he's not being listened to by anybody, it might surprise him. And in fact, you might be able to start working with him in helping him to understand not only the problem that he's got, but the impact he's having on other people.
Yeah, that's true.
That could be interesting.
Yeah, yeah.
So let's have a conversation before you go and see him.
Oh, yes.
So you can have time to have a think about what you could be doing.
Okay.
Let's go through that. We might even role play that one a little bit,
no,
so you've got an idea, and then you've either identified with them some of the issues, some of the solutions, or at least you're going to look interested during the meeting.
Yeah. Okay.
Fantastic.
We'll do that.